Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. All right, time to continue with science and frustration and smart people asking the stupidest questions over and over and over again about science. Where we all know we're not stupid, but it doesn't matter. They're going to keep asking these questions. So let's get through this. I did check the speed. Don't worry. It's already good. It's all good. Well,
And it's fun together. Each swatched portions of stains 4, 5, and 6. Is that correct?
He assisted on some of them. I'm not exactly sure which exact stain.
Ms. Mazzola, 5 minutes ago, didn't you say with some degree of certainty that it was items 4, 5, and 6 that Dennis Fung and you did together?
We were both there working. I am not sure exactly if he took swatches from every stain that I did or if he took swatches from one.
I'm not asking you about every stain, Ms. Mazzola. I'm simply asking you whether or not you testified before these ladies and gentlemen of the jury just 5 minutes ago that Dennis Fung and you together each did swatches for stains 4, 5, and 6. Was that your testimony, ma'am?
I'm not sure if I said 4, 5, and 6 or portions of
4, 5, and 6.
1 or 2.
So you're now saying, Ms. Mazzola, that you're not sure which of items 4, 5, and 6 that you both together swatched some of the blood from? Is that your current testimony?
That's vague.
Well, did you not say just a few minutes ago to this jury, Ms. Mazzola, that both you and Dennis Fung together each swatched portions of the stain for items 4, 5, and 6?
I'm not sure if I said that both of us took swatches from 4, 5, and 6, or it could have been 1 or 2. I don't remember.
But at least it's your recollection that both you and Dennis Fung took swatches from at least one of those 3 items. Is that correct?
That is correct.
When you testified just this last Thursday for the same jury at this trial, Ms. Mazzola, were you asked these questions and did you give these answers, referring to page 23851, beginning at line 4?
3. Proceed. Certainly.
Okay. Will you ask these questions and did you give these answers? Question. Ms. Mazzola, you said a moment ago that you testified this morning on direct examination that it is now your recollection that Mr. Fung, and not you, collected the drops, item numbers 4, 5, and 6. Is that correct? Answer, that's correct. Did you give that answer to that question last Thursday?
If you have it, I guess I did.
You don't recall? You don't?
Overruled.
Would you prefer to actually read it yourself, ma'am?
No, that's fine. I'll take your word for it.
Ms. Mazzola.
Overruled. Excuse me, counsel, when other counsel's making an objection, would you at least allow them to finish? Thank you. Proceed.
So, Ms. Mazzola, on Thursday you testified that you were not involved in the collection of 4, 5, and 6, and that Dennis Fung collected that. Is that correct?
Overruled.
Is that correct?
At the time, I thought that Mr. Fung alone had, yes.
That was as recently as last Thursday.
Yes.
And now today, you have a different recollection of what transpired back on June 13th, 1994. Is that your testimony, ma'am?
Yes.
And when you testified on August 23rd, 1994, at that point, it was your recollection, was it not, that you had personally collected all the blood drops at Rockingham? Is that correct?
Sustained.
Have you looked at any notes to refresh your recollection between Thursday and today that led you to change your mind from Thursday to today's testimony with respect to who collected what on items 4, 5, and 6?
Notes, no.
Have you looked at any videotapes to refresh your recollection so that you would change your memory as to who collected what portions of 4, 5, and 6?
Videos, no.
Have you looked at any documents to refresh your recollection that you didn't have available to you last Thursday so you could have a different memory as to who collected what with respect to items 4, 5, and 6?
Documents, no.
Did you have a conversation with any members of the prosecution staff between last Thursday and today with regard to who collected items 4, 5, and 6?
No,
Did you have a conversation with Dennis Fung between Thursday and today as to who collected items 4, 5, and 6?
no,
But you now say that it's your recollection has changed your memory of what your involvement was with regard to items 4, 5, and 6 from just this last Thursday to today. Is that correct?
yes,
And ma'am, it would be fair to say, I think you said it earlier, that you never wrote down in your notes which of you collected which items. Is that right?
that is correct.
And so the only way you can recall or testify as to who collected which items is strictly from your independent recollection. Isn't that correct?
That is correct.
Has your memory of who collected which items been aided by the prep sessions that you had with the prosecutors in this case?
No,
Did the prosecutors ever tell you that it was important that you give some credit to Dennis Fung for his involvement in this case?
no,
Did they ever tell you that it was important for you to enhance Dennis Fung's involvement in the collection of bloodstained evidence?
no,
In fact, your supervisor, Dennis Fung, didn't even supervise you with respect to the collection of every stain, did he?
of every stain, no,
He was off collecting other evidence when you collected some of the stains in this case, didn't he?
yes,
When you collected a stain on a wire the afternoon of June 13th, excuse me, your supervisor was not there to observe you, was he?
that's correct.
And when you collected items 7 and 8, Dennis Fung was not there to observe you, was he?
That is correct.
Now, I want to show you the evidence for it prepared by the prosecution.
Proceed. Proceed. We'll take it up at noon.
Now, at Bundy, ma'am, as opposed to Rockingham, isn't it true that you collected every single drop of blood at Bundy, with the sole exception being the stains from the 2 bloody shoe prints?
Exclusively, no,
Well, ma'am, were you aware of the fact that when you were on August 23rd, when you were asked about which drops you collected, did you understand the question to be directed at what you personally collected as opposed to what you collected in conjunction with Dennis Fung?
I do not recall if I knew that was me personally versus us as a team.
Your Honor, I ask the court's permission to now read the page 700 to the witness for that limited purpose.
Savage.
We'll sustain the same objection because of the manner in which this transcript reads, counsel. It's not a clear question that was put to the witness. Proceed.
Next thing he's going to get on her is she used black instead of a blue pen. What was the temperature outside when you were filling out these reports? Because if it was over 90 degrees, doesn't that mean the ink will come out a little thicker? A little more ink will come out because it's heated? Doesn't that mean you could write the wrong word because you have extra ink coming out of your pen? Isn't that right?
You testified on August 23rd, referring to page 735.
This was asking me to.
I haven't even asked this question, and I haven't read this portion of the transcript on cross-examination.
I'm sorry, that was that.
Which line, Counsel? 735, what line?
1 second, Your Honor. Beginning at 734, line 27. And ending on page 736, line 1.
Starting.
734, line 27.
Proceed.
You testified on August 23rd, 1994. When you ask these questions, did you give these answers? Question. In which, I'm sorry, at Bundy again, were there certain bloodstains that you collected and other bloodstains that were collected by Mr. Fong? Answer, yes. Question. In which bloodstains were collected by Mr. Fong? Answer, I believe he collected the red stains that were near the shoe prints that were made on the walkway. Question. Would you please look at your notes and tell me which numbers those are? Question. And when you say that, you say he collected the actual foot shoe prints, or he collected alleged drops that were near the shoe prints? Answer, he, if I remember correctly, took swatches of the red stains that were constituting the footprint itself. Question, can you tell us which ones those were, please? Answer, property items 55 and 56. Question, and that is it? Answer, yes. Question, all other bloodstains at the Bundy crime scene were collected by you, ma'am? Answer, yes. And while he collected 55 and 56, were you collecting some of your bloodstains? Answer, yes. Will you ask those questions and did you give those answers under oath on August 23rd, 1994?
Yes.
And on August 23rd, 1994, ma'am, would you agree that the events of June 13th were fresher in your mind than they are now 10 months later?
Not necessarily fresher.
Well, would you agree, ma'am, that your memory of an event that happened 2 months previously is stronger than your memory of an event that happened 10 months previously?
Cool.
I had not thought of the events of June 13th since we had gotten done with the property reports up until the time I walked into this courtroom for the Griffin hearing.
Ms. Mazzola, would you agree that your memory of an event that happened 2 months prior to your testifying is fresher than it is when you've had 10 months gone by?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Ms. Mazzola, June 13th, you collected these items, is that right?
Yes.
You didn't do a single other crime scene between June 13th and the date you testified on August 23rd, did you?
I don't remember if I did or not.
Well, Ms. Mazzola, are there any other notes that would refresh your recollection as to whether you did?
I don't know.
Well, as you sit here today, ma'am, do you have an independent recollection of doing a single other crime scene between June 13th and August 23rd?
Independent recollection, no.
And Ms. Mazzola, when you did this crime scene with Dennis Fung on June 13th, it was an important crime scene to you, was it not?
Every crime scene is important.
Well, Ms. Mazzola, you said when you were told to come to court in this case, rather than being told it was a Simpson case, you were simply told by someone it was the case, correct?
Those were her words, not mine.
I understand that, Ms. Mazzola, but is that what you were told?
That's what I was told.
And when
Yes.
this person said to you, it is the case, didn't you know that what she meant was the case of Mr. Simpson here? Didn't you know that?
I had an idea.
Ms. Mazzola, were you aware that just the previous day, August 22nd, your partner in this crime scene collection, Dennis Fung, was testifying in this courtroom before a national television audience? Were you aware of that?
Sustain. We've gone through this once before.
I thought it was in a different context.
Same testimony. We've heard it.
And Ms. Mazzola, you're relying exclusively on your memory, on your independent recollection when you testified on August 23rd, correct?
That and Mr. Matheson's notes.
Well, Mr. Matheson's notes were the original notes that you and Dennis Fung took on June 13th, isn't that correct?
I don't know if they were the originals or not.
Well, the notes were they copies of the notes that you and Dennis Fung took then on June 13th?
They could have been copies, yes.
Or originals?
That's true.
And what those notes were was the sum total of all the notes that you and Dennis Fung took on June 13th at Bundy and Rockingham, isn't that correct?
That's correct.
And that would constitute the the field notes and the crime scene inspection list that this jury has already seen. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And there are no other notes, are there, that were prepared by you that you've used to refresh your recollection today?
No,
And there were no other notes other than those notes that you relied upon to refresh your recollection when you testified on August 23rd. Isn't that correct?
that's correct.
And when you testified on August 23rd, ma'am, isn't it a fact that there is no note saying which items you personally collected and which items Dennis Fung personally collected?
That's correct.
And so between August 23rd and today, ma'am, it's not as if you've had additional notes to look at, which will help you remember which items Dennis Fung collected as opposed to which items you collected. Isn't that right?
Sustained, as phrased.
Well, Ms. Mazzola, are there any other notes, other than your field notes that you got from Mr. Matheson that day, that indicate which items you collected and which items Dennis Fung collected?
Notes, no.
And there are no notes, ma'am, or reports that were prepared by you that you looked at on August 23rd, which indicated which items you collected and which items Dennis Fung collected, correct?
We're there. All right,
Can I just ask 2 more questions and I'll finish this area?
2 more. Slower, though. However, the court reporter is about to go on us.
So both today and on August 23rd, you're relying exclusively on your independent recollection as opposed to any documentary evidence to recall which items you collected and which items Dennis Fung collected, correct?
Memory and photographs.
Have you seen a single photograph showing Dennis Fung collecting items 4, 5, or 6?
At the Griffin hearing, I did not have a chance to look at the photographs before.
Ma'am, I'm simply asking you this. Please, have you seen a single photograph between June 13th and this morning or this afternoon that shows Dennis Fung collecting items 4, 5, or 6?
No.
Thank you, counsel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our recess for the morning session. Please remember all of my admonitions to you. Do not discuss the case amongst yourselves, form any opinions about the case, allow anybody to communicate with you, or conduct any deliberations until the matter has been submitted to you. Counsel, I'm going to direct you to confer about that one exhibit that Mr. Newfield was interested in. All right. If there's any problem, let me know at 1:30. All right, we'll stand in recess. All right, back on the record in the Simpson matter, all parties are again present. The 2 items that Mr. Newfield, you requested, are the 3 items they're back. Do you need any other time to set that up? Mr. Scheck, why don't you give your partner a hand here?
Also, there were some legal issues as to matters that they'd like to use during cross-examination that perhaps bring up before the jury comes back.
Such as? Why don't you move that easel back just so the jurors can... No, just move it back so when the jury comes in, they don't step over it. Thank you. All right. Let's proceed. Let's have the jurors, please.
Can we bring up those issues, Your Honor?
I haven't seen anything yet.
I don't understand. Well, one of the issues is the defense would like to use a demonstration video that the prosecution created, which is a video that was done simultaneously to the demonstration boards of the blood collection. And I don't object to the use of the video portion of the tape per se, although it's probably not relevant. But there's an audio portion of the tape that basically doesn't contain anything other than my own conversations with the cameraman and with one of the criminalists as to how best to create that evidence, how best to edit it, how best to present it to the jury. And we ended up never using it. Probably I should not have released those
Nice of you to show up, Mrs. Late.
comments to the defense on the grounds that they are a privileged work product. But I was confident that there was so little to them that I just gave them the entire tape and didn't realize until later that I shouldn't have done so.
Mr. Newfield?
But at any rate, I don't see any relevancy to them, and I don't know why counsel would want to play those.
Mr. Newfield?
Could I ask Ms. Mazzola to please step out during this discussion?
Sure. How long is this videotape?
7, 8 minutes, maybe?
Do you intend on having the audio portion with counsel's comments?
Absolutely, Your Honor, because they're not just counsel's comments, Your Honor, they're counsel's instructions to the witness on what to do at certain points. And not only is counsel giving instructions on what to do, but counsel is actually conveying certain important messages of bias to the witness during the course of that videotape.
When do you plan on using the videotape?
Maybe in about 45 minutes.
Let's see the tape.
Okay.
There's Kardashian working really hard back there. Hi, Kelly. I just turned comments on, Tina, so you'll see it as soon as someone else comments. Somebody say something in chat. Anything.
Is the video part done now? You're gonna do flash photos now? When you're done, yes. So tell me when you're done. So now we're done with the video part? Okay, then I'll just you start with flash and then it's okay. I'll use the revise as my example. Okay. I didn't think I got it. But it's on there. It's on there. No, I mean, is there edit it out? If it's on there, I'll edit it out. But then we have the app. Oh, it'll be like 3 pieces of video put together. This one's done now? Yeah, it's on there.
Sorry, Tina, you got to do it. I don't make the rules. I don't know why. I didn't do anything. I thought it was so bad, but no, it's fine. You're right. I like it. I'm happy. To make lasagna for dinner, $34.15. To make one lasagna for everybody to eat. So expensive.
Mr. Newfield.
Thank you. I take it from what Mr. Goldberg said that he's not objecting to the playing of the tape. His objection is to the sound portion, so I will restrict my comment to the sound portion. Your Honor, the portion I believe that Mr. Goldberg.
Yes, but you can see her texts in this box right here. She's on Twitch.
Is concerned with and doesn't want to be played in front of the jury goes as follows. We made actually a transcript of the one small segment, which we believe is certainly relevant and should be played to the jury. Although we're not opposed to playing the rest of the soundtrack. And it goes like this, by Mr. Goldberg. Is there any way we can get out that little part where she dropped some of the swatches? Answer, I don't think I got it. Mr. Goldberg, oh, you didn't? Then by the camera operator. But if it's on there, it's on there. Mr. Goldberg, no, I mean, is there any way you can edit it out? Camera, of course. If it's on there, I'll edit it out. By Mr. Goldberg. But then, will you have a gap? Camera, no, it will be like two pieces of video cut together. Now, clearly, this is all going on. This discussion about what to do with Ms. Mazzola dropping the swatches on camera is going on in her presence. There's no question that it's on in her presence and she hears it, although I'll certainly ask the proper foundation questions when she testifies. It is our position, Your Honor, that the prosecution is sending a message to Ms. Mazzola that they want to, in this entire evidence collection process, make it seem as simple as possible, that no accidents can possibly occur. That, as Ms. Clark said in her opening statement, it's no different than wiping up a spill in the kitchen. That's exactly what they tried to do on direct examination as well.
No. It's not relevant if she dropped swatches while making a video showing how they collect evidence. It's not relevant to this trial. That's
This witness, and clearly the tape shows that it is more difficult, that things can go wrong. In fact, Your Honor, we would asked this witness whether the reason that she said on the witness stand on direct examination that, yes, I've dropped some swatches, but that doesn't matter, you just get rid of them, but denies having ever dropped a swatch with blood on it, is she was prepped in anticipation of the fact that this videotape would be played to the jury to admit that, yes, I do drop swatches sometime, because the jury was going to see that. But she didn't have to admit any of the other kinds of mistakes that can occur, because at least as to those mistakes, we don't have a videotape record of it. So I would be permitted to ask her these questions to show her bias and to show her state of mind. And the fact of the matter is that she was sitting there, she heard all this said by Mr. Goldberg, he is the prosecutor, and it is to influence her, the way she deals with the whole issue of making mistakes at an actual crime scene. And that's why it's admissible. 1 second.
Mr. Goldberg.
Well, I guess I'm not going to be winning an award at the Cannes Film Festival this year.
I'd say Morris Geese is not shaking in his boots, no.
What? Yeah. I guess it's kind of like watching ice cream melt, and I don't mean Haagen-Dazs. But Your Honor, what I've heard from the defense here is really absurd. And I think it's very clear what they're trying to do, and it should not be allowed. What we have is a situation where the people are creating a piece of demonstrative evidence. That's all this is. And it is clear from all of my comments that that is what is going on, including comments like, you don't need to collect more than one swatch because one is enough for them to get the general idea. Or can you please turn this way so we can get a better shot of you filling out the card? We are entitled to create this piece of evidence and make it as perfect as we like. We are entitled, as I at one point thought of doing, adding graphics, adding sound, subtracting from the tape, adding to the tape. I could have scored it to the theme music of Mission Impossible if I'd wanted to, which I actually thought of doing. We are entitled to create this any way we want to. And what counsel is really trying to do is he's trying to suggest that there's something wrong or untoward that has gone on here in terms of the creation of this documentary piece of evidence. The distinction is that we are not documenting an event. We are not trying to record a historical event, but we're trying to illustrate
Isn't the
something.
issue, though, work product and preparation of the demonstrative evidence?
I
Isn't that the
realize
issue?
that, Your Honor, and it is work product. And I believed that this was the kind of thing that the defense would not try to use, that there was no reason to redact it out, and then subsequently changed my mind after the tape had already been released to them in a convoluted series of facts that we need not to get into. I don't think they're relevant. I'm sure Mr. Neufeld would agree, but no, I probably should have. And it is work product. It is my discussing the creation of exhibit, and more importantly, it's not relevant. And I point out that that what we have in a chronology is we have a situation where I talked about doing something that I'm entirely within my rights to do, but did not do, and maintained the evidence unedited, and then turned it over unedited to the defense. So the idea that they would now come forward and try to argue that there's some impropriety, where we have a situation where I'm discussing doing something that I'm entitled to do that I didn't do, and that the only reason why I know I even discussed it is because I turned it over to them and maintained it. And for them now to try to introduce that into this case as an issue is grossly improper and should not be allowed. It doesn't have any relevance whatsoever.
Briefly.
Fine, two things, Your Honor. Just so the record, at least on how this tape was received, is clear. In fact, Mr.
Counsel,
Goldberg.
I don't care how you got it. You
Well, he
got it.
didn't- Okay.
The issue is, how do you get over the work product problem? And how do you get over a 352 objection?
Well, it's not work product, Your Honor, because what we're introducing it for is simply his statements in the presence of this witness to influence her testimony on the witness stand. And any statements that a lawyer makes in the presence of a witness, which has the effect of influencing her testimony, is admissible because it goes to her bias. That's how it comes in. And even if it wasn't his intent, even if it wasn't his deliberate intent to influence her testimony, it has that effect. And we're allowed to argue that it has that effect to this jury. That's an inference that they're permitted to draw. Clearly, the statements were made in her presence. That's the point. That's not work product. In terms of
Goldberg, just stand up and say, no, it doesn't, and then move on with your day.
352, I don't see that as a big problem here, Your Honor, because certainly it has probative value as to whether or not he said in her presence, let's try and get rid of the portion where you're making this mistake, where you're dropping these watches. That is a very important message being conveyed to her, that the prosecution in this case wants to make this whole procedure look as simple as possible and wants to cover up any kinds of mistakes that can and do happen.
Which is why they gave you the tape with her dropping the swatches.
No, well, they gave me the tape. They didn't even know it had the soundtrack on it. In fact, initially I thought it was silent as well, and he was going to edit out his comments, Your Honor. And then we played it up, and we found out that the volume was there. That's why. The reason he turned over the tape, Your Honor, is because you ordered him to. You may recall we went into chambers, and he said he had this tape, and I laid a foundation in the roping room with you, and you said, Mr. Goldberg, turn over the tape now. That was your ruling. It wasn't turned over
Counsel, as I
voluntarily.
indicated to you, I'm not interested in how you got it. You got it.
I
The
understand that.
issue is, does the jury get to see it with the soundtrack? Yes or no? That's the only issue.
I understand that too, Your Honor. I'm simply saying that if he wants to, I can agree to eliminate the other comments on the tape, but I believe that comment, which is all of, that whole discussion lasted about 1 minute. I think I read through the text of it into the record, is certainly probative, relevant evidence for this witness
No,
to
it's
show
not.
that her testimony here has been influenced by bias, and the bias was generated in part by the statements made by Mr. Goldberg in her presence that we don't want to show this jury instances where swatches get dropped. That's what it goes to. It goes to her state of mind. And that's not work product privilege at all.
Thank you, counsel. All right, the objection will be sustained as work product, also under 352, since the probative value of the evidence is tangential at best, and it's confusing. It's hard to hear as well. All right, let's have the jury. Let's have Ms.
Good job, Ito.
Sorry, I know
Good
it's
job.
fate here, but I
Goldberg,
why bother?
shut up.
because there were certain mistakes that were made as to how the tape were released.
No, sit down, Mr. Goldberg.
He doesn't care.
Let's have Ms. Mazzola.
You
Let's
asked,
have the jurors, please.
can I make one other comment? about
No,
it?
thank you.
It's like when my kids were trying to go to sleep at night. Can I just have one more cup of water? Can you just read one more book? Shut up. Go to bed. Both of you go to bed. You have school in the morning. Yellow Solo cup. I'll fill you up.
All right, Mr. Neufeld, which chart do you have up?
Prosecution Exhibit 177A.
177A. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Mazzola, have you seen this exhibit before called LAPD Evidence Disposition Summary?
Yes, I have.
And have you seen the other LAPD Evidence Disposition Summary, which is marked Prosecution Exhibit 177C?
Yes, I have.
And did you play some role in the creation of these exhibits?
No,
Did they ask for your input when they generated these exhibits?
no,
Did they ask you whether or not the information on the exhibits was correct after they were created?
I don't believe so.
Well, Ms. Mazzola, let me ask you a question. You said before that when you collected item 7, the blood drop on the Rockingham driveway,
Yes,
you said Dennis Fund wasn't even there to observe. Is that correct?
that's correct.
And you collected that one yourself, didn't you?
Yes,
Now, this chart here, this LAPD Evidence Disposition Summary, says item number 7, collected, and it says Fung and Mazzola, 6/13/94. You see that? If you want to step down,
I've,
please do.
I've seen it when I went to put it up. Yes,
Well, that's not correct, is it? You're the person who collected item 7, isn't it you?
yes.
It's vague as to what you mean by collect.
Overruled.
Isn't that correct?
I physically swatched it. Yes,
Well, in fact, ma'am, on August 23rd, when you asked questions about what you collected, you understood the question, you understood the word collect to mean that you physically swatched and collected those swatches. Isn't that right?
Overruled.
yes,
Okay. And that's you understood the meaning, the word, I'm sorry, withdrawing. You understood the word collect to mean that on August 23rd, and that's the normal way that you use the word collect, is it not?
yes,
Okay. So again, Ms. Mazzola, on this prosecution exhibit, where it says number 7, item number 7, Fung and Mazzola, collected by, that's not correct. It was only correct, collected by you, Ms. Mazzola. Isn't that right?
it was collected by me. Yes,
Thank you. Now, let me show you the other LAPD evidence summary board, which is 177.
So sometimes he says her name right. I could get it if he always said it, Miss Mazzola, but sometimes he actually just says it right. He keeps flipping back and forth.
See. Remember the drops along the bad pathway, Bundy?
yes.
That would be items 47, 48, 49, 50, and 52, correct?
Let me double check on that. Yes,
It doesn't
And
matter.
you personally collected item 47, correct?
see, 47 was.
One moment. Isn't that correct, ma'am? You personally collected item 47.
She doesn't know. She's
I
trying to
did,
remember.
Mr. Fung managed to get a little more blood off of that one spot, but I collected the majority of it.
Ms. Mazzola, what are
She
you
does
guys doing
remember.
here? Looking at now to refresh your recollection?
I'm just looking at this, because this is the one that was at the corner of the house, the first stop on the trail.
All right,
We
Ms.
all
Mazzola,
know,
in the
though.
note that
We
you
know.
are looking at right now, refresh your recollection. Did you discuss with Dennis Fung sometime after you testified on August 23rd which items you personally collected? Was there a discussion?
There was a discussion, yes.
And he also told you his recollection as to which items he thought he personally participated in collecting. Isn't that correct?
Yes,
And after that discussion, you made certain entries in your field notes next to each one of the items, correct?
yes,
And the entries you made would reflect whether it was an item that you personally collected alone, whether it was one that you collected with Mr. Fung, whether it was an item that Mr. Fung collected. Isn't that correct?
those entries at the time were meant to reflect that, yes.
Okay. And is that the only discussion you've had with Dennis Fung about who collected what in this case?
I don't remember.
Well, and based on your independent recollection, was there another meeting besides this one meeting with him that you've already testified to that occurred after August 23rd?
I had seen Mr. Fung since then. I don't remember exactly what we talked about.
Well, did you talk about who collected what in this case on those other occasions?
I don't remember.
But you do recall one specific meeting where that was the main subject discussed.
Yes,
And that was at a meeting you had with him shortly after you testified or sometime after you testified on August 23rd. Is that right?
yes,
And as a result of that meeting, you made certain entries, you said, on your field notes, correct?
correct.
And for some of the items that were collected, you made entries indicating that an item was collected by both Fung and Mazzola, correct?
Yes,
And when it was an item that you believe was collected by both Fung and Mazzola, would you write in the column that said by F/M for F for Fung and M for Mazzola? Would you do that?
yes,
Isn't it a fact, ma'am, that with respect to item 47, even after the meeting you had with Dennis Fung, you indicated that 47 was collected only by Mazzola?
at the time I thought that was correct, yes.
And you thought that was correct when you testified on August 23rd also, didn't you?
Yes,
And with respect to item 48, ma'am, you were the only person who collected that item too, weren't you?
yes,
And with respect to item 49, ma'am, you were the only person who collected that as well, weren't you?
there was one other drop on the trail that Mr. Fung helped with. I don't remember which one it was.
Ms. Mazzola, when you met with Dennis Fung at this discussion that you had after August 23rd, and you reviewed with him who collected what, didn't you put down that only you, Mazzola, collected item 49?
At the time I did, yes.
And Ms. Mazzola, as respect to item number 50, weren't you the only person who collected that?
Let me check my sketch. Let's see. Yes,
And Ms. Mazzola, as item 52, you were the only person who collected that too, weren't you?
yes.
In fact, Mr. Fung wasn't even observing you collect item 52, was he?
Item 52. No, Mr. Fung was not there.
So the prosecutor's diagram, where it says, for instance, on item 52, collected by Fung and Mazzola, that's incorrect, isn't it?
Well, that calls for speculation.
Overruled.
Conclusion.
Overruled.
As it stands there, yes,
That's incorrect.
yes,
And as to item 50, Ms. Mazzola, where the prosecutor's exhibit says item 50 collected by Fung and Mazzola, that too is incorrect, isn't it?
yes,
And with respect to item 48, Ms. Mazzola, where it says collected by Fung and Mazzola, that too is incorrect in the prosecution's exhibit, isn't it?
that one I don't know about. As I said before, there's one stain on the path that Mr. Fung helped with. I don't remember exactly
Well, if
which
there's
one.
one stain that you
Wait,
recall,
wait.
I'm sorry.
Let her finish the answer.
If there's one stain that you say that you have a recollection that he helped you
Thanks,
collect, then
Jim.
as to the other stains on that walkway, where it says Fung and Mazzola collecting it, as to those other stains, that would all be incorrect. Isn't that right?
Number 47 he helped with, and there's one other that he helped with on this path.
So as to the other three, Ms. Mazzola, this board would be incorrect. Isn't that right?
Yes,
And Ms. Mazzola, both on August 23rd and again at your discussion with Dennis Fung, where you reviewed who collected what, at those two times, it was your then recollection that you and you alone collected 47, 48, 49, 50, and 52. Isn't that correct?
at the Griffin hearing, that was my belief.
It's been asked and answered.
It has.
It's the last question on the chart. I think.
She's answered the question.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you
She's
said.
answered the question.
Well, she started to answer half of it.
She's
She said
answered the
at the Griffin.
question. She's answered the question.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Which board is this, Mr. Shepherd?
It's prosecution exhibit 120K. I'm sorry, that's individual exhibit 120.
120. Thank you. Proceed.
Now, Ms. Mazzola, the first drop that you collected after you collected the stain on the Bronco door handle was item number 4. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And item number 4 is the one that's actually in the street near the curb
Yes,
behind the Bronco?
yes.
And then item number, I'm sorry, am I blocking? Right. Is that better? Okay. And item number 5 was the second stain you collected, is that right?
Yes, I believe it was.
And item number 5 is a little red stain in the driveway outside the actual gate, though, isn't that right?
Yes,
And ma'am, the distance from item 4 to item 5 is approximately 12 feet, is it not?
I
As
wouldn't
it
know.
crow flies.
I wouldn't want to hazard a guess.
Well, do you have notes indicating the actual locations of each of these items?
We have the measurements, yes.
Could you look at those measurements and I'm sorry, if you look at those measurements, would you be able to give an approximate estimate as to the distance between stain number 4 and stain number 5?
Let's see. Oh, this may be approximately 6 feet or so between them.
And the next blood drop stain that you collected is item number 7. I'm sorry, item number 6. Is that correct?
6, correct.
On August 23rd, when you testified that you personally had collected the drops at the beginning of the walk of the driveway leading up to the house, ma'am, was one of the drops collected that day item number 6?
Well, that's unintelligible.
Overruled.
Was item number 6 one of the drops collected that day, ma'am?
Yes, it was one of the drops collected that day.
And what is the approximate distance from item number 5 to item number 6? It's about 8 feet, isn't it?
Yeah, it's approximately 8 feet.
Okay. And from blood drop number 6, where is blood drop number 7, ma'am?
Blood drop number 7 is up near the front patio area.
Could you just for one moment please come down and point to it on the diagram? You know what? Get the pointer out, please. Could you move to the side so that it's here? Okay. Could you now point to could you point to the red dot on the diagram? And could you show us what number 8 is? All right. And could you please show us what 4, 5, and 6 are?
4.
Could you move out of the way? You're obstructing here. And where's 5, please? Okay. Let the record indicate that the witness is pointing to what has been previously identified as a red circle indicating item 5. Just tell us what item 6 is on the diagram. Indicating the higher up of 2 red dots just inside the gate.
Yes.
And could you now also please indicate the location of stains A, B, and C?
Okay. They would be here.
Indicating the lower of the 2 drops that are immediately next to each other just inside the gate.
These.
Richard, I keep threatening to show the whole police chase, or at least what he said on the phone to Detective Lang while he was being chased, and I haven't got it together yet. But we are not even halfway through the trial, so we'll get there.
Indicating a red drop just to the left of the D in the word driveway.
And C.
Indicating a red circle above the garage, or I'm sorry, midway between the, not quite midway between the garage and the entranceway. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, a little closer to the garage.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Perry. Now, Ms. Mazzola, the distance from item number 6 that you collected to item number 7, approximately how far is that?
Okay, on that, we changed our point of reference for the measurements. As we got up near the garage, we took our measurements off the garage.
Would it be fair to say, ma'am, that the approximate distance between stain 6 and stain 7 is at least 100 feet or thereabouts?
I wouldn't even know. I have no idea.
Now, A, B, and C, you said were never collected. Is that right?
That's correct.
Was that Fung's decision not to collect them, ma'am?
Yes.
And did Dennis Fung say to you that the collection of 3 more stains would overtax the laboratory?
No.
Did he say it would interfere with the analysis of other evidence?
No.
Now, you said that the reason A, B, and C weren't collected is because you were only interested in collecting what you termed representative stains. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, at Bundy, ma'am, every drop along that walkway was collected, wasn't it?
Yes.
You didn't leave out any drops simply because you deemed them representative, did you? Or,
No.
I'm sorry, because you didn't deem them relevant, did you?
It's vague as to which drops.
Sustain. Great question.
Bundy, there were 5 drops, 47, 48, 49, 50, and 52, that you observed on June 13th, right?
Correct.
And you collected them all.
Yes.
There were no other drops along that same walkway that you saw but didn't collect. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
And I believe you said on direct examination that you would collect the first few stains and then the last few stains, and it wouldn't be necessary to collect the middle stains as long as they went in the same direction. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, do you know what direction those drops were going in when you collected them on June 13th?
There really were not any drops that were way out of line. They were following a more or less pathway.
Well, Ms. Mazzola, on June 13th, did you know whether or not these drops indicated that the person was walking from the Bronco to the house or from the house to the Bronco?
I personally did not know.
Well, did Mr. Fung, in your presence, say that these drops have a direction indicating that the person is walking from the Bronco to the house as opposed to from the house to the Bronco?
I do not believe so.
So you did not know on June 13th which direction these drops were going in, did you?
No.
Now, other than items A, B, and C, which were photographed but not collected, was there anything else worth documenting with a photograph on the driveway that was photographed?
I do not believe so.
That was it, just those drops, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and A, B, and C. Is that right?
I'm not sure what else the photographer took pictures of.
Now, Ms. Mazzola, would you agree that the blood drop that you have identified as number 5, I'm sorry, as number 6, as A, and as B, are all to the left side of the driveway as you walk in toward the house? Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Mazzola, Detective Van Atta testified that it was his theory that Mr. Simpson had returned home the night of the 12th, I'm sorry, and opened the gate and walked directly along the south side of this driveway toward the location where the glove was recovered.
This isn't improper.
I'm laying a foundation, Your Honor. It's a hypothetical,
All right, assume that.
okay?
I can't even get mad that he's doing this because I've done it on this stream like what, 30 times? 30?
First of all, would you agree that the distance from the Rockingham gate to the location where the glove was collected is approximately 250 feet?
I have no idea what the distance is.
All right, let me show you. That's already been admitted.
What does it matter if it's 250 feet? Move on. Judge, it doesn't matter if it's 250 feet. Go get your lawyer, Judge. Get him over here. Cameraman is bored. He'd get really exciting if he started filming the jury.
Exhibit 1072, which is a surveyor's drawing of Mr. Simpson's home.
You weren't here for that. So, Josh, the jury was reflected in one of the plastic pieces on the other side of the courtroom once earlier in the trial. I don't think it was the preliminary hearing. No, because it was Judge Ito. Man, Judge Ito was mad.
Home and property. You see that? Have you had a chance to
Yes.
look at it?
Yes.
Now, the only blood stain that is on the south side of the driveway would be stain A. Is that correct? Which wasn't collected by you.
That's correct.
And would you agree that the distance from stain A to the location where the glove was collected is a distance of approximately 250 feet?
Well, no foundation.
Sustain. Rephrase the question.
Well, do you know where the glove was collected, ma'am?
I know the area, yes.
Okay. And you had seen it?
I had not seen the glove before it was collected.
But you were shown the place where it had been collected by Mr. Fung?
Yes.
All right. And by looking at this surveyor's drawing of Mr. Simpson's house and property, can you see the approximate location where it was? Approximately.
Approximately, yes.
All right. Now, beginning at the curb and going to that location, approximately how many feet is that?
No foundation, she knows.
Looking at that, can you tell what the distance is?
the approximate distance.
All right, what's the approximate distance?
It's approximately 250 feet from the curb.
All right. And now, instead of the curb, if we come into the location of stain A, which is the one stain that's on the south side of the driveway, approximately how far is stain A from the curb? Approximately.
From the curb?
Yes.
Check. Approximately 20 feet or so.
So it would be fair to say that the distance from stain A to the glove is approximately 230 feet.
Approximately, yes.
And isn't it true that when you were at Rockingham on the 13th, you examined the walkway for evidence, the walkway leading up to the garage?
Yes, Mr. Fung and myself looked at the driveway.
And you were examining the driveway for blood evidence, correct?
Correct.
And then you also examined the walkway on the south side of the house, heading out to where the glove was recovered, did you not?
Yes.
And isn't it a fact that on that walkway, all the way to where the glove was recovered, you never saw any drop of blood on the sidewalk?
Personally, no.
And isn't it true, ma'am, that the wall along the south side of the house is made of stucco?
Of the wall of the house, yes.
And you examined that wall on the 13th of June, did you not?
I personally did not.
You personally made no examination of the wall for trace or blood evidence at all?
No.
But as you sit here today, ma'am, are you aware of the fact that no blood stain was ever found anywhere on that stucco wall?
Sustained.
To your knowledge, has any blood stain been recovered from that stucco wall?
Calls for your sense.
Overruled.
Conclusion.
Personally, I have no knowledge.
You want to exhibit that to the jurors at the end just to make sure that they saw all the pertinent parts? You, Mr. Checkman, exhibit that to 1492 to make sure they saw all the pertinent parts there.
Ms. Mazzola, the last two stains that you swatched and collected that morning were number 7 and 8, right?
Correct.
And as to number 7 and 8, did you keep swatching those two drops until you had collected the entire blood stain?
I don't recall if I did or not.
Well, was it your standard procedure to do that?
To get up as much as possible, yes.
Oh, okay. And to the best of your recollection, did you get up as much of the stain that was visible as you possibly could? As to item 7 and items 8.
Overruled.
I think I got up as much as I could.
Now, back on June 13th, 1994, were you aware that the Los Angeles Police Department had recently begun a DNA testing program?
I knew that they were getting into DNA.
Were you aware that the type of DNA testing that they were going to be doing, or were doing in-house, was called PCR typing?
No.
You said, I think on direct examination, that you took a course in genetics in college,
Yes.
took a course in molecular biology in college.
Not molecular biology. Microbiology.
In the course in genetics, did they teach you about DNA?
Yes.
As of June 13th, had you been taught the meaning of DNA amplification?
No.
Had you been taught, either prior to or up to June 13th, that given the exquisite sensitivity of DNA, it's essential that safeguards be taken to avoid the risk of contaminating evidence collected?
Seems that's
Sustained. I want to rephrase it.
Sure. I think you said on direct examination that you are personally familiar with the issues of contamination and cross-contamination. Is that correct?
Yes.
Were you ever taught at the LAPD that it is essential to take proper safeguards to avoid the risk of contaminating evidence for later DNA typing?
The safeguards that we take on all evidence, yes.
Were you ever taught any special safeguards for the particular problems which can arise from DNA testing?
Well, still assume the specs not known.
No, I don't believe so.
Have you ever heard the expression referring to PCR DNA typing as its exquisite sensitivity? Have you ever heard that expression, exquisite sensitivity, used in connection with DNA?
Not since you just mentioned it.
Had you been taught at the LAPD Mini Academy that in the absence of proper safeguards, a minute biological specimen, such as a speck of wet blood or a fleck of dry blood, can be transferred accidentally by criminalists from one area of a crime scene to another?
Still assume specs not known.
Sustained.
I think subject to connection, Your Honor. You said you
Sustained.
just taught it. Well, has anyone at SID ever told you that in the absence of proper safeguards, a minute biological specimen, such as a speck of wet blood or a fleck of dry blood, can be transferred accidentally by the criminalist from one area of a crime scene to another?
Still assume specs not known.
Sustained. Counsel, I assume that there'll be other witnesses to this.
I believe you said, Ms. Mazzola, that the only training you've received in collecting bloodstains is for serological testing in general and not for DNA testing in particular. Is that right?
Not in DNA particular, that's correct.
Are there any written guidelines that you have received from the LAPD dealing with any of the particular problems encountered with DNA evidence?
No, I don't believe so.
Have you received any handouts from the LAPD regarding the negative effects that heat and humidity have on the reliability of bloodstain evidence?
No.
Have you been taught by members of the staff at the LAPD Scientific Investigation Division that heat and humidity have negative effects on the reliability of bloodstain evidence?
Assume specs not known.
Sustained.
Not just for DNA, but for any type of serological testing.
Assume specs not known.
Sustained.
While we're watching OJ, I'm going back to all of my first OJ videos, all of them, not just my first ones. And I'm redoing the title and the description and the pinned comment so that they're easier to search and more people see them. Because right now it just says OJ trial. You know what I mean? So while we're doing this, I'm going back and going into my old videos and fixing it. I'm going to do the thumbnails next, like later, like December. But that's why you hear the opening music. The very first one I open might play the music. Now the rest of them won't play the music, but that's why you heard that.
Rephrase the question, counsel. It's an appropriate question if it's phrased appropriately.
Are you aware, okay, to your knowledge, as you sit here today, as to whether heat and humidity can have negative effects on the reliability of bloodstain evidence?
So something about Twitch I just found out yesterday. So people who watch my live streams on YouTube and do not have premium YouTube premium, they have to watch ads through all of my live streams. That makes sense, right? Well, I found out yesterday that if I get 15 more followers on Twitch, and for 4 days in a 12-day period, I have 3 people in my chat at the same time for a period of time, like 10 minutes or whatever, chatting. They have to chat. That I would become an affiliate in Twitch. And then if you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription a month to YouTube, to Twitch, to one channel on Twitch. So if you use your free Amazon Prime Twitch subscription, then you can watch the live stream on Twitch, this live stream, right? And the other ones, both of them, all of them, with 0 ads. No ads. Yeah. So a lot of people have Prime, Amazon Prime, but they don't have YouTube Premium. They see ads when they watch my live streams. So with a tiny bit of effort, I need 15 more followers on Twitch. And then I need 3 people to be in Twitch at the same time for like, it's 4 days in a 12-day period or whatever. And then all the people who have Amazon Prime can stop seeing ads on YouTube. But that's what I found out yesterday.
Oh,
I know that it can affect them. I'm not sure to what extent.
Well, when you say you know that heat and humidity can affect the bloodstains, have you at least been told that it can affect them adversely?
sustain.
When you say you are aware that heat and humidity can affect DNA, I'm sorry, withdraw. When you say you are aware that heat and humidity can have an effect on bloodstain evidence, what effect is it that you believe they will have?
That it might have some effect on the testing, but I'm not sure to what extent or how that would be affected.
No one has told you how heat and humidity will affect bloodstain evidence, only that it has an effect? Is that what you're saying, ma'am?
I don't know personally how much it would degrade, if at all, and over what period of time.
Okay. But as you sit here today, it is your understanding that the effects of heat and humidity are that it can degrade the bloodstain evidence. Is that correct?
That is one possibility.
Okay. Now, in this particular case, you took wet blood swatches and you placed them in a clear plastic bag. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
And then you fold over the top of the plastic bag so they don't fall out. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
And sometimes these wet swatches that are in the plastic bag actually stick together, don't they?
That happens.
Sometimes they even stick to the side of the plastic bag, don't they?
Yes.
Were you aware that putting wet swatches in a plastic bag causes the swatches to retain moisture?
I was not told that.
But you knew that anyway, didn't you?
Yes.
I mean, you know that just from your everyday experiences. And if you take a wet item and you put it in a plastic bag and you close the top of the plastic bag, it's going to stay real moist in there, isn't it?
It'll stay moist, yes.
Okay. As opposed to if you take the item out of the plastic bag and let it dry in the air, it'll dry much faster, won't it?
Yes.
Okay. And did you know, prior to taking the witness stand today, that by keeping the swatches moist in that plastic bag, that can promote the growth of bacteria on those swatches? Did you know that?
Overruled.
No, not really.
Have you ever had the common everyday experience of putting a wet item such as a bathing suit or something in a wet plastic bag and then taking it out hours later and it smells moldy? Does that ever happen to you?
I would say it smells moldy.
Have you ever had the experience where you've kept any wet item in a sealed plastic bag and taking it out many hours later, whether it's a bathing suit or something else, and it smells somewhat moldy?
In a couple hours? No.
There wasn't.
But if it's a common experience,
No. In 2 days? Yes. Hi, Kelly. But in a couple hours? No.
I don't think we need to go into it too deeply.
We're not going to. Just
There was an odor, yes.
Feminine products. No.
and
Josh,
as you sit here today,
when you're at the store, can I have a cucumber and Vaseline?
based on your experience in genetics, microbiology, your education in college, your education at the LAPD Mini Academy, are you aware
But only
that
by those two
bacteria
things, nothing
eats up
else.
pieces of DNA?
Sustain.
Well, based on your education and your training, do you have any knowledge about what effect bacteria has on DNA?
No,
And don't make
Have you
eye
ever been taught
contact.
anything about what effect bacteria has on DNA?
no,
You said that you have some knowledge of the effects of humidity and moisture on a swatch that's kept in a sealed plastic bag. Do you have any awareness of the effect of heat on a wet swatch in a sealed plastic bag?
not personal knowledge. No,
What kind of knowledge do you have if it's not personal knowledge about this?
just from what I've been told. I have not seen the effects personally.
You've been told by people at SID, at LAPD?
Yes,
And have you been told by people at LAPD that just like moisture, heat also can promote bacterial growth?
it's possible. Yes,
And have you been told by people at LAPD? By the way, did you have these conversations with people at LAPD prior to June 13th, 1994, or since June 13th, 1994?
I can't remember exactly when it was.
Do you remember where it was?
At work.
Was it just a casual conversation, or was it one of the lectures at the mini academy?
I'm not really sure.
And did any of these people who you had these discussions with at work talk to you about the combined effects of heat and humidity on a wet blood swatch kept in a sealed plastic bag?
No, I don't believe so.
Well, did those people tell you, I think you said a moment ago, that heat can cause bacteria to develop? Is that right?
Overruled.
It's a possibility that it could occur.
And that humidity, or the moisture of the swatch in the sealed plastic bag, can also possibly cause bacteria to develop as well. You were told that by these people at LAPD, is that right?
Yes,
So would it be fair to say that if you have both heat and the moisture, that together they will both possibly create or cause bacteria to develop on those swatches?
Sustains. Beyond the scope of expertise here.
Have you been taught to follow the Los Angeles Police Department manual?
Overruled.
we have looked at the LAPD manual.
And have you been taught to apply the booking directions contained in the LAPD manual?
I don't believe so.
Ma'am, have you been taught at the LAPD Scientific Investigation Division that with respect to preserving wet stains, you should do the following? Items containing wet blood, semen, or chemical stains shall be permitted to dry at room temperature before packaging. Plastic containers or plastic wrap shall not be used as a packaging material. Were you taught that at LAPD?
For final booking, yes, that's entirely correct.
Well, ma'am, were you given particular pages of the LAPD manual to know for booking evidence?
No,
Were you told by anybody at SID that the LAPD manual is simply a guideline and not rules which you are required to follow?
I believe I heard it was to be used as a guideline.
And who told you that it was a guideline, ma'am?
I don't remember offhand.
Was it one of your supervisors at the mini academy?
I don't remember.
One moment. Are you aware of the fact, Ms. Mazzola, that the Los Angeles Police Department manual states that all employees of the department are to conform with the rules and provisions herein contained? Are you aware of that?
No,
Overruled.
no,
Would you agree, ma'am, that that statement from the Los Angeles Police Department manual declares that this manual sets directions for you and are not simply guidelines, correct?
Overruled.
Would you like me to show you the actual section of the
Excuse
manual?
me, counsel. We've gone through this manual in front of this jury for approximately 45 minutes with another witness. You've already established what was done in this case. You've established what the manual says.
Ms. Mazzola, you stated that your understanding of the section in the LAPD manual on preserving wet stains is only instructions for final packaging, not temporary packaging. Is that right?
That's correct.
Is there any place in the actual rule listed in the LAPD manual that creates that exemption for temporary packaging? You see that anywhere in the rule?
I don't know. I haven't read it.
You've never read the LAPD manual section on how to preserve wet stains? Is
That's,
that what you're saying?
that's correct.
Have any of your instructors at the LAPD ever read to you the section from the Los Angeles Police Department manual on how to preserve wet stains at a crime scene?
Not from the manual. No, I don't believe so.
No one in the whole year and a half that you've been there has ever read that to you?
Not from the manual.
You've never read it yourself?
No.
Now, section 51012 of Los Angeles Police Department manual states, Ms. Mazzola, quote, analyzed evidence requiring freezer storage shall be booked at Central Property Division no later than 6 hours after it is obtained. During the time that you've been to Los Angeles Police Department, have you ever personally read that section of the LAPD manual?
No. No.
During the year and a half that you've been with the Los Angeles Police Department, has anybody at the LAPD SID Mini Academy ever read to you this particular section of the Los Angeles Police Department manual?
No.
Would you agree, ma'am, that from the sentence I read to you about this manual, that the manual is not to be regarded as merely a guideline?
Sustain.
Would you agree, ma'am, that neither you nor Mr. Fong booked any of the evidence that needed to be frozen within 6 hours after it was obtained?
That's correct.
And, Ms. Mazzola, you have the So I'll show you what you previously introduced as Prosecution Exhibit 163H, which are 3 analyzed evidence envelopes. Now, when you obtain a reference sample of fresh blood, what color envelope is it to be stored in?
I know in toxicology, we receive our blood samples in the gray envelope.
And since you've been, I'm sorry, that's your only experience with receiving blood vials with the toxicology?
Except for the occasion in this case, which I had limited involvement with the blood.
Okay. And in those cases where you receive a fresh vial of blood, it's in the gray envelope. Is that right?
That's right.
And on the gray envelope, under the word analyzed evidence, would you please tell the jury what it says?
To be refrigerated.
And that is an instruction to the person who holds that gray envelope that the evidence is to be refrigerated, correct?
Correct.
Have you ever been told by anyone, since you've been working at the Los Angeles Police Department, SID, that it's perfectly okay, instead of refrigerating a blood vial, to leave it on a counter overnight in a trash bag? Has anyone ever told you that?
Overruled.
No, I don't believe so.
Did anyone ever teach you at what rate blood breaks down into grays?
I was talking to my son.
No,
Did anyone at SID Mini Academy ever teach you that it's okay to let wet bloodstains remain in a sealed plastic bag in the rear of a truck in the middle of June for 7 hours?
that was never brought up.
Was never brought up at the Mini Academy?
I want to ask again, sir. What about the people who were murdered and shoved into a plastic barrel for 4 weeks, a year before the criminologists find them? What is all that evidence just not good because it wasn't refrigerated immediately after death? Come on. Come on.
No,
Well, you say that, I'm sorry, were you taught that it's okay to use a plastic bag for short-term packaging?
yes,
And that's something you learned at the Mini Academy?
yes.
What did your instructors mean by short-term, ma'am? Did they say?
Until the samples could be brought back to the laboratory for air drying.
3
Well,
minutes. 3 minutes is
they
short
told you
term.
that final
Yeah, it is.
packaging should not be in plastic bags, correct?
Correct,
And did they tell you the reason they shouldn't be in plastic bags?
because they were to be frozen.
Well, did they tell you that if they're stored in a plastic bag long-term, that the samples could degrade?
I don't believe they mentioned that.
They never explained to you what effects packaging in plastic bags would have on the evidence?
We were just told final packaging was not to be in plastic.
They just told you how to do things. They never told you why. Is that your testimony?
If it was important to tell us why, they would.
You're assuming that if it was important to tell you why, they would?
Sustained.
Did they ever tell you that if you were going to be out in the truck for more than a half hour or an hour, you shouldn't wait and keep them in plastic bags? Instead, you should take them out of plastic bags.
They never mentioned that, no.
Did they ever tell you that if it was 2 or 3 hours, that that's too long?
No,
Did they ever tell you that if it was 15 hours, that's too long?
I don't believe they put a time limit.
Oh, they just said when you get back to the laboratory, and that's it.
As soon as was feasibly possible.
But they didn't tell you after so many hours that the evidence can begin to degrade.
No,
Were you ever taught, ma'am, that if the DNA deteriorates in the blood swatch, I'm sorry, were you ever taught that if the DNA deteriorates in the blood swatch and is then cross-contaminated with other DNA, that it makes it more difficult to identify the cross-contaminant?
Sustained.
And then is subsequently contaminated by an outside contaminant, that if you then do a test, it'll be difficult to know whether you're identifying the contaminant or the degraded specimen?
Sustained. We've already broached this topic. I assume there'll be other witnesses to this issue.
Now,
Mr. Scheck, what board is that? Thank you.
Ms. Mazzola, you can't see the board from where you are.
no.
Could you step down for 1 second and take a look at it, and then you can take your seat again?
Why don't you take the long pointer with you there?
Your Honor, may we just approach for one moment?
No.
I just
Proceed.
want-
Proceed.
Do you recognize the photographs contained on this board?
Yes,
And in fact, that's you in the photographs, is it not?
yes it is.
And are these a series of still photographs which are attempting to capture different aspects of the collection process?
Correct.
When were these photographs taken, ma'am?
I don't know the exact date.
What month?
To tell you the truth, I don't know.
Well, was there a time when you were taken out by the prosecutors in this case and asked to do a demonstration?
Yes,
And was a prosecutor present?
yes,
So Mr. Goldberg?
yes it was.
And were other members of SID present as well?
Yes,
And was a camera operator there as well?
yes.
both a still camera operator and a video camera operator?
Yes.
And have you ever been asked to do a demonstration of stain collection before in any other case?
No.
Do you know approximately when it was that you were taken out to do this demonstration?
I don't know the exact date.
I'm not asking the exact date. Was it in February or March?
All I know, remember, it's being cold and it was raining.
You don't even know whether it's in 1995 or 1994,
Wait,
Ms.
she was
Mazzola?
trying to answer the question, Mr.
Sorry.
Field. You've interrupted her again.
To be honest, I don't recall.
Okay. Now, aside from Mr. Goldberg being present and a still photographer and a video photographer, were there other people present?
Yes.
And did they assist you or at least give you instructions during the course of this demonstration?
Your Honor, I'd object to that.
Vague.
Who else was present besides Mr. Goldberg and the camera operators?
Mr. Funk and Mr. Yamaguchi.
And during the course of your doing this demonstration, having these photographs taken, did either Mr. Yamauchi or Mr. Fung give you any direction?
It's still vague.
Overruled.
No.
Mr. Goldberg gave you some instructions.
It's vague as to instructions.
Sustained.
Your Honor, can we approach?
Nope. I think council understands the parameters here.
During the time that you were actually doing the demonstration, did Mr. Goldberg give you any direction as to what to do?
No, I still think it's vague and overbroad.
Overruled. Yes or no?
I don't understand what he means by instructions.
Or obviously, this is a demonstration project, a piece of demonstrative evidence. I'm sure the jury understands it was created for this case. Proceed.
And during the course of that, did Mr. Goldberg give you specific instructions?
As to what he wanted to depict, yes.
Okay. And the sequence in which you should do certain things?
No, not the sequence.
All right,
Now,
Mr.
this-
Giselle, would this be a good spot?
Sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our break for the afternoon. Please remember my admonitions to you. And we'll reconvene in about 15 minutes. All parties ordered to return in 15.
Good afternoon.
You're reminded you were still under oath. Mr. Newfield, you may continue.
Thank you. Ms. Mazzola, again, calling your attention to the collecting a stain demonstration board with the still photographs on it. Would you agree, Ms. Mazzola, that the still photographs shown on this board, because they are still photographs, don't capture the continuous motion involved in the entire process of bloodstain collection?
It's argumentative.
Overruled.
That's correct.
And when you first set out to do this demonstration for Mr. Goldberg and the prosecution, did the prosecution attempt to record this demonstration with a videotape as well?
Yes.
And the video was shot at the same time that the still photographs were taken?
Yes.
And it was your job during this videotape demonstration to act out the role of a criminalist collecting bloodstains?
Yes.
I mean, this wasn't a real case, right?
No.
Put this down now.
And Mr. Cochran, could you just flip that one around, please? Thank you.
Now, Ms. Mazzola, SID has its own still photographers, correct?
That's correct.
And SID even has personnel who can take videotapes as well, right?
Sustained.
Thank you, Kelly, but I got bleach on it. But it's okay for camera. I just can't wear it outside. I got bleach on it.
When this
damn
videotape
spot.
was being made of you doing the demonstration, Ms. Mazzola, was it your understanding that it was being produced for the purpose of showing it to the jury during the trial?
Overruled.
That was a possibility. I don't think they came right out and said it would be shown. It was a
Ms.
possibility.
Mazzola.
Wait.
said-
Let her finish the answer.
I thought I apologize, Ms. Mazzola. Go ahead.
Be my guest.
No, is there more?
No.
What was your understanding when you were engaged in this demonstration for the district attorney and the video camera is rolling? What is your understanding of what the purpose of this videotape was going to be?
Overruled.
That it
I got a comment yesterday that I dress entirely inappropriate for a YouTube channel.
might be shown to the jury.
And so while the district attorney was producing this videotape, you tried to perform the tasks of criminalist to the best of your ability. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And knowing that the videotape was meant to represent the process of bloodstain collection as practiced by you, you also tried to make it as realistic as possible, did you not?
Yes.
And is the tape, have you seen the videotape?
No.
Now, while you were performing the demonstration, I'm sorry, Sean. Did Mr. Goldberg ever tell you at any time, either during the videotape or after the videotape, that he was concerned that the videotape revealed some common accidents?
Sustain. No.
Did Mr. Goldberg or any prosecutor ever tell you that it was important to convey to this jury how simple bloodstain collection is?
Overruled. You can answer the question. Was that ever said to you?
Not to show how simple it was, just to show the procedure.
Did any prosecutor ever express to you the importance of conveying to this jury that it is a simple procedure?
Overruled.
It is a simple procedure,
I
but
didn't ask that.
that was not the main issue.
Okay, I'm not asking what was the main issue. Was it a secondary issue that was conveyed to you by the prosecutors that they wanted to show or suggest to the jury
That's
that this
counsel.
was
Secondary, tertiary. I mean, where are we going to go with this? Was it discussed by any prosecutor with you to show that how simple the process was?
No, I don't believe so.
Proceed.
I know.
Ms. Mazzola, during your prep sessions with Mr. Goldberg, did he tell you that there was a chance that this videotape might be played for the jury?
Overruled.
Overruled, Judge? What?
I don't remember if he said there was a chance it might.
Every single time we hear asked and answered, that should just be automatically sustained. Sustained, sustained, sustained.
Are you aware of the fact that on the videotape, you are depicted dropping swatches?
Yes.
Kelly, you should see my Discord DMs. My Discord DMs is full of mostly men telling me about my hair, my shirts, my weight, my appearance over and over and over again. And it never stops. They all have opinions on my look, and they feel free to just tell me about it over and over and over again all the time. It's every day.
And were you at all concerned that the videotape depicted you dropping swatches?
No.
But you were aware of it.
Yes.
And during your prep sessions with the prosecutors in this case, didn't they tell you that on direct examination you should admit that you drop swatches occasionally in the event that this videotape is played to the jury? Didn't that come out?
Sustain. Rephrase the question.
In the prep sessions with Mr. Goldberg and the other prosecutors, didn't they tell you that there was a chance that this videotape might get played for this jury by the defense?
Yes, there might be a chance.
Okay. And you also knew that on this videotape, you are depicted dropping swatches. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
And during the prep session with Mr. Goldberg and other prosecutors, was it discussed that you should readily acknowledge occasionally dropping swatches at crime scenes?
I don't know if they brought it out in the prep sessions.
Well, do you recall on direct examination, Mr. Goldberg asking you about whether you drop swatches?
Yes,
Overruled.
I believe so.
Well, during those prep sessions, you said some of them lasted as much as 5 hours?
It was not a continuous 5 hours.
I understand that. But you said some of the sessions lasted overall as many as 5 hours at the prosecutor's office. Is that right?
I was at the prosecutor's office for upwards of 5 hours, but not talking to them the
On
entire
different
time.
days.
Right.
And on some of those days, they would ask you questions that they intended to ask you once you took the witness stand, did they not?
Yes.
What was one of the questions that you discussed during those prep sessions, a question involving you dropping swatches during a crime scene collection?
I don't know if that was during one of the prep sessions.
Are you saying that the very first time you ever heard that question asked was when you took the witness stand here?
I believe it was mentioned when we were taking the photographs for the collection demonstration.
I just ignore it. It's fine.
This time, Your Honor, I would like to play the videotape.
All right, let's mark it.
What's next in order?
11:17.
Front of the jury, so there may be a couple of times where I asked to go back and slow it down, and please indulge me a little
Well,
bit.
you've seen your colleagues.
Mel, my daughter has
Exactly.
thick, curly hair. Thick, curly hair. My oldest. So she does not wash it every day. She can't because it's so thick and curly. It would take her hours to get ready every day. No, she works this Saturday, so
By the
she
way,
has
did you
off
notice the date at the beginning of
today.
this?
Yes,
It said 4/4/95. Does that refresh your recollection as to when this videotape was made?
not really.
Okay. Okay,
She
go ahead.
braids it a lot, and she likes beanies. She wears beanies.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Could you go back to the beginning?
Today's Thursday. I have to remember that. Mental health
Now,
docket
Ms. Mazzola, is that
day
you're
in
wearing your
Colorado.
glove, correct?
Correct.
Gotta
And
get
it's
it.
your right hand that's now resting on the ground, isn't it?
Oh,
believe so.
Mel, I love it. Yeah, John, I know both of those.
Thank you. Is that your right hand that's resting on the
Okay,
ground?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that the
the second one, sometimes I cut it a little close. I'm not going to lie because I get comfortable and I don't want to stand up. But I do know both of those commands.
ground there outside on the street is dirty?
Yes.
You want to describe, unfortunately, Mr. Neufeld, since we don't have a real-time counter, and if you're going to isolate particular items, you're going to need to describe them, either print them or describe them.
This is 11/17/8. And Ms. Mazzola, just before this shot where you put the right hand down on the dirty ground, did you clean the tweezers?
Yes.
The rules of evidence are gone. The rules of evidence are gone. Where's his rule? Guys, the book, The Rules of Evidence, is gone. Did he use it? Did he pull it out to use it during the trial and I missed it? Where did it go?
And now, Ms. Mazzola, stop again. Did you just take the tweezers and put them and move them from the left hand and transfer them to the right hand?
Yes.
And that's the right hand that you just had put down on the dirty ground. Is that correct?
Yes.
Everybody gets sanctions today. Every single person, even the people in the
And are
gallery.
you now pouring swatches out onto the cap?
Yes.
With that dirty, nasty hand that you just touched the ground with.
Go back about 10 frames, 5 seconds, right there. Now, at that particular moment, Ms. Mazzola, was a swatch about to fall out of the cap and you prevented it from falling out by catching it or bringing your right pinky into contact with that cap?
I don't know. If one was going to fall out, I would have just let it fall.
Well, can you back up a second? Just a little bit more. Okay, can we just show that little sequence in slow motion, please?
This would be a nightmare to have someone go frame by frame of a video of you working and pointing out every single mistake that you made in front of the
So at that
entire
point, can you just
nation.
stop there for a second?
Not
Didn't you
just in
just
front of the entire
bring-
nation. In front of the entire nation in such a way that for generation after generation after generation, Millions of people are going to see this. Like millions of people see the OJ trial, have seen the OJ trial. This site that I got this from has crazy views. So for the rest of her life and long after she's dead, people are going to sit here and watch her do this one task wrong over and over and over again and just watch it get picked apart. I'm like dying for her right now. Right now. I hate that defense team so badly.
Your hand down to that cap because a swatch was about to fall off the cap, and it didn't. You saved it.
I don't believe so because it appears that I'm putting the cap back on the bottle, and if a swatch was in there, I wouldn't turn the cap over because its swatch would fall out anyway.
Well, Ms. Mazzola, you were about to put the cap down at that point, right?
It already is, dear.
I don't know.
And there were swatches in the cap.
I don't know how many swatches were in the cap.
Can you just back it up 5 seconds? We'll let me see it one more time. Regular, not regular speed. Back. Back one more.
Back that up.
Okay, now start it. Didn't you just see you do something with your pinky, Ms. Mazzola, to try and catch something on that cap?
I don't know if I was trying to catch something on the cap or what.
But you could have been. Is that correct, Ms. Mazzola?
It's a possibility.
All right. And the same hand that you're using to catch a swatch at that point, if that's what you could have been doing, is the same right hand that you would just put down on the dirty ground. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Continue. What you're doing now is you're making the control swatch.
That's correct.
Item number 5.
Correct.
And Ms. Mazzola, on the dirty pavement outdoors like this, would you expect to see some kind of dirt or debris on the control swatch? Based on your experience.
Overall.
Might,
You stop
might
this.
not.
Hmm?
Might not. I don't know.
Even on an outdoor pavement like this, you wouldn't expect to find some dirt?
Overall.
It's a possibility you'd find some dirt.
Is it a probability that you find some dirt, Ms. Mazzola?
Sustained.
Continue, please. Now, when you put the plastic bag in the envelope at that point, you folded it over to seal it, didn't you?
Yes,
And that would retain the moisture in it, wouldn't it?
it would help keep the swatch from slipping out.
Hold on 1 second, please. Other than preventing the swatches from slipping out, by folding over the top of the plastic bag when it's wet inside, that will also result in it preserving the moisture in those swatches, wouldn't it?
Yes.
One more. Back up. Back up. Okay, now go forward a little bit. Now, after you make the control swatch, Ms. Mazzola, you then clean the tweezers off before you go on to actually collect the blood stain. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And can you freeze there for a second? And what you just did, ma'am, was to pick up, you're going to use that wet wipe or Kleenex to clean the tweezer, right?
Yes, the Kim wipe.
Right. And you just picked up that chem wipe with the same right hand which you've been resting on the dirty concrete, correct?
Yes.
One moment.
Kelly, that is true. I told you. Every 30 minutes, she falls off the windowsill. Every 30 minutes. Scares the dinkies out of me. She's upstairs in my room right now, falling off of the windowsill every 30 minutes.
Now, Ms. Mazzola, you just transferred the tweezers that you just cleaned back into the right hand again, didn't you?
Yes, the parts away from the tips.
Can you back up a second? Okay, go forward.
Punchable.
Now, there you're holding
Punchable.
it away from the tip, correct?
Correct.
Go ahead. Continue. And now, stop. You moved your fingers further up toward the front of the tweezers, didn't you? Ms. Mazzola, isn't the tweezer now completely enclosed in your hand, in your right hand?
I don't know if it's entirely enclosed or if my finger is just brought up around the side of it.
Well, Ms. Mazzola, your fingers that are brought up along the side of it are the fingers of your right hand that you would just put down on the dirty pavement. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Okay, continue. Now you're pouring more swatches out of the bottle, correct?
Correct.
And are some of the swatches falling to
So evidence that they collect is normally isn't making, maybe not normally, but normally like on the freaking ground. They collect the evidence from the ground most of the time. Blood evidence is down on the ground. Whether you get killed at home or on the street or whatever, the blood goes down to the ground. So are you saying that it's going to get dirty because her hand was just touching the ground? Are you saying now the blood is going to be corrupted because it got dirt on it? That doesn't make any sense because it comes from the ground. So it's already dirty with the same dirt. Oh my God. No. Oh.
the ground and missing the cap?
Yes.
I mean, no one's eating this stuff. No one is eating it. It's fine. You can pick the blood up off the ground. Yes, you can. With a hand, with a gloved hand that was touched. The only reason why they use gloved hands is so they don't get blood on themselves and they don't get diseases. It's not to keep the blood clean because the blood's not clean. It's on the freaking ground.
Stop a second. Okay, continue. Stop there. Stop. Now, Ms. Mazzola, you see some of the swatches that fell to the ground between the bottle and your knee?
Yes.
And this time, I noticed last time when you took the
I mean, so a guy walks in and he stabs his wife and then he stabs his daughter and then they take the knife to the crime lab and they say clearly, oh my gosh, we found traces of both the wife and the daughter on the knife. It's not like if you mix it, they're never gonna, nope, they're never gonna tell what it is now. Nope, come on.
cap off the bottle, after you took out
Yeah.
the swatch, you put it right back on the bottle, didn't you? Last time.
Sometimes I do, yes.
Okay, but this time you put the cap down, didn't you?
Yes.
Is that because you considered for even a moment perhaps putting those swatches
Yep.
that fell to the ground back into the
No, we can't use that knife as evidence in this murder trial because there's two different bloods on it. It's cross-contaminated. It doesn't, nope, he must be innocent.
bottle?
No.
You never considered that even for a moment?
Never.
Okay.
I wish I could play music clips, just little clips during these. That would be awesome.
Ms. Mazzola, when you made this demonstration tape, were you aware of the fact that your right hand had been resting on the dirty concrete?
No, I don't
Is this
believe
the
so.
first time you knew that?
Yes.
And Ms. Mazzola, you said you did know, however, that you would drop swatches during the course of this videotape, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And in fact, comments have been made by others present about the fact that you had dropped swatches. Isn't that correct?
It's not the same. It's not the same.
You also testified on direct examination, Ms. Mazzola, that you would never drop a swatch that had blood on it. Was that your testimony?
I believe so.
Well, had the prosecutor told you during the prep sessions that it was safe for you to give that answer because we don't have you doing that on the videotape?
Sustained.
Sanctions.
Disregard the implication of that question.
Sanctions. Tase him.
You also testified, Ms. Mazzola, on direct examination that one reason, I'm sorry, withdrawn. You also testified that at crime scenes, your gloved hand has never touched a bloodstain or wet blood. Is that correct?
That's correct.
But isn't one reason why you wear these protective gloves in the first place is because you could accidentally touch a blood stain or wet blood?
We wear them for our own protection because we are around blood.
Well, when you say you wear these gloves for your own protection, Ms. Mazzola, isn't that to protect you from an accidental contact with blood? Isn't that the whole purpose you wear the gloves?
Blood, among other things, yes.
Okay, so it's anticipated by the people who taught you at SID to wear gloves that accidental contact between a criminalist and blood does happen from time to time. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
So when you say that you have never touched blood or a wet blood stain, even with your protective gloves on, what you're really saying is that you've never done it such as that you're aware of it. Isn't that correct?
Overruled.
Such that I was aware of, yes.
Now this is going to be the swatch of the actual evidence, correct?
Correct.
Okay, could you stop there? Now, as you see, Ms. Mazzola, do you see the, I'm sure you can see it too, do you see the moist area where you had made the control swatch?
Yes.
And do you see that the moisture has run all the way over to the point where it's actually in contact with the blood stain?
I don't know if that is moisture from the control swatch or the pigment of the concrete itself.
Ms. Mazzola, may we please go back quickly to the verse to show her the collection of the control swatch. Back up. Back up before it starts. Back up so it's just off the ground. Okay, go ahead. Stop. Back up. I want to get it just before we make contact. Stop.
Anybody with 2 brain cells knows better. Seriously, it's common sense. All right, this is a good stopping point. We did good. Let's just peek at what's upcoming really quick. So we got 30 minutes in, so we have an hour left here, and we'll get through an hour of this one tomorrow. So that's where we'll be. That's where we'll be tomorrow. Unless I call in sick, which is possible. No, just kidding. All right, guys. Have a great day. It's Thursday. Week's almost over. Is it really Thursday? That's freaking crazy, though. I hope you guys have a good day and stay nice and cool. And I'll see you again real soon. Bye, guys. Thank you.